How's it going, gang? It's the final render here, and today I have a cautionary video for you guys today that I was hoping I would never have to make, but it turns out I am having to make this video at this time, because for the first time in pretty much all Fallout 76's history, there is now a devastating hack that can actually affect people who don't want to be involved with any kind of hacking activities. And this hack, which actually was kind of announced yesterday, has now been released into the wild and is extremely dangerous for anybody who is currently playing Fallout 76. So let me tell you about what the hack is, how you can avoid it, and pretty much what's going on with the story behind it. So to sum up the story, the people who made the injection script, which enabled people to bring in assets from Fallout 4, such as the Prydwen and Preston Garvey, into the game, have now expanded upon whatever scripts they are creating, and have invented one which will allow people to steal all the items being carried by another player. This includes their Pip-Boy, it includes any items they are carrying or wearing, and includes everything inside their inventory that cannot be dropped, such as quest items, for example. This is obviously a very devastating hack and can be done without somebody's consent, and is also something which can be done remotely. You don't actually need to go up to the person and trade with them or talk to them. Somebody could literally be hiding in a bush within, I believe they said, roughly 200 meters in game, and can steal all of your items just by being in line of sight of you. And this is obviously devastating for a game like Fallout 76, because Fallout 76 is all about collecting all the good equipment, building your character. Some of this stuff is extremely rare, takes an awful lot of time to create and a lot of time to actually gather, and is pretty much breaking or undermining the entire point of the game. The main thing that people were very, very worried about when Fallout 76 was first announced was, 1, hacking, and this is a hack, and 2, just the idea of players being able to take your items in-game through fair, normal means. Well, in this case, we have actually got a hacking system which allows you to do that, to be able to take every single item. And this hack is now out in the wild. I wasn't actually going to make a video on this until I knew it was out in the wild, and that apparently has happened now. People have started to lose their equipment and lose their items, and there is plenty of video proof of it on YouTube of it actually happening. So in this case, this is not a fake, this is not a conspiracy theory, this is something that is currently happening in-game, and the only way to avoid it is to not play the adventure mode on PC inside Fallout 76. So again, I'm not really sure of the technical reasons as to how this is possible. I'm not really that much of a tech guy, but there are some things I know you can do to prevent having your items stolen. And the first primary system is, 1, if you are on PC, do not play adventure mode. Because if you are currently playing adventure mode, that's when you have access to people who have the hack and come near you, and they can steal your items. However, if you're in a private world, then unless you have someone on your friends list in your private world with you who has the hack, then you're not going to lose those items. Other people are saying, if you really want to play, don't carry anything on you that you can really not cope without losing. Because if you have something in your stash, that should be safe. But if it's anything on your person, then you could, in theory, lose that item if one of these hackers comes near you. Not that that's an excuse or anything like that. That really does kind of defeat the point of having an item if you can never use it or anything like that. And the other thing which you can really do to keep in mind about this hack is this is apparently PC only. It is apparent that there is actually no way to get this running on console because it uses external software to inject scripts into the game. So therefore, if you are on PlayStation 4 or Xbox One, you should be safe, at least from what I have seen so far. Another thing, if you are a victim of this hack, some people are saying immediately that you'll have to delete your character because you lose your Pip-Boy. This is not true. If you lose your Pip-Boy when you are hacked by this, you can log into a server again and you should have a new Pip-Boy. Apparently the game by default already gives you a Pip-Boy when you first load into a server, so you shouldn't have to worry about that too much, but that won't obviously recover any of your items. If you are the victim of this hack, do not delete your character. There may be a way to revert your items by rolling back your character, and also report everyone who is on that server in your Recents tab when you are playing the game. If it is in their Recents tab, it means that that person is going to be somewhere in there within that server. and eventually Bethesda will probably get multiple reports of the same person saying that they are somehow cheated in some way, and they'll be able to cross-reference that with any reports and hopefully find the people who are using these injectors. And if the person is innocent, then everything will be fine. So don't worry about doing that. And I suppose also there is something to mention is that apparently this can also work in the nuclear winter mode. If you are playing the nuclear winter mode of the game and somebody uses this hack, then yes, you will lose all of the items you're currently using in the nuclear winter mode of the game. So that is essentially what the hack is and what it can do and some ways to prevent it. But honestly, the only way to realistically prevent it is to simply not play adventure mode until this has been fixed. And upon that note, Bethesda have been informed of it. They have responded saying that they are looking into it. You know, they are actually on their Christmas break right now, but evidently they have brought back people in from their Christmas holidays in order to fix this. So hopefully we will have a hotfix for it very soon. And from what I have heard, apparently hotfixing this actually is pretty easy. There isn't really anything stopping them from fixing this problem once they actually get onto it, but it will mean they'll have to actually make a hotfix, test it. They'll also then probably have to take the servers down for a small amount of time in order to implement the hotfix, and then pretty much hope that that fixes it, and hope that they don't invent a new way to get around that, essentially. Now, this obviously comes down to a big discussion about the security of Fallout 76 as a whole. Typically speaking, me, the final render, I don't report on hacking stuff, simply because pretty much all the hacks that are in the game, they don't really affect other players. They only affect you, the hacker. If you want to use an XP hack to get more XP, you can do that. If you want to duplicate items, you can do that. But they don't actually hurt other players who aren't involved, if that makes sense. People who aren't involved in the hack don't really lose anything by you hacking. It's just you yourself. However, in this case, we actually have a hack which can actually affect other players who want no part of the Fallout 76 hacking community. So this is obviously an enormous problem, and I think it is something which I definitely need to mention in a video in order to protect people's items. Now, I know it's not really a solution to just say don't play the game. Really, it needs to be fixed as a whole, and as I said, Bethesda are aware of this. But this does highlight the bigger issue at play to where the amount of security, or lack of security I should say, in Fallout 76 is becoming very, very evident now. Now that there is a way for this sort of thing to happen, it's only a matter of time before more people decide to put hours into actually creating such tools in order to make the problem snowball. And I don't mean to be rude, guys, but this doesn't necessarily happen to other games. This needs to be fixed immediately. Obviously, all PC games have hacking in some form, but that doesn't excuse it. Some people are saying games like Grand Theft Auto have loads of hacking. It doesn't excuse it. It's still a problem. It doesn't actually fix the problem. So what I would say overall is that, please Bethesda, I'm asking as a long-term fan who has close to 1,000 hours in the game, delay any other content until this is fixed. I'm asking that as a fan, not as someone who just wants to see the thing gone. I'm asking as a fan of the actual game itself, that I think it would be better for the game if this is fixed. Because we've had reports of hacking in Nuclear Winter for a while now. That's probably been the only other time there has been hacking which has affected other players, which was Nuclear Winter hacks. But now, of course, we have a situation where even Adventure Mode people are starting to get attacked by bad actors. So delay all the other stuff. Delay the Atomic Shop, delay Wastelanders, get this fixed. Get some proper anti-cheat systems in here and get it done. Whilst I know that I know very little about how technical things work, and for all I know there is great anti-cheat in the game, but it isn't working, evidently, or it needs to heavily be upgraded, because as of right now, I myself am not willing to play the adventure mode, which is the core part of the game I absolutely adore, until I've had 100% confirmation that this is fixed. And on top of that, if you are someone who's played the game and you've been affected by this, report it to Bethesda immediately. There may be ways to roll back your character in order to get your items back. But obviously, this is an enormous, enormous problem. And I personally not willing to play the adventure mode until I've had 100% confirmation that this has been patched out and is no longer possible. It's obviously a terrible thing to happen for the game at this time. There is a Steam release on the way. Wastelanders is meant to be coming out in the next few months. And honestly, please Bethesda, make this #1 priority. This has been coming for several weeks now, but now it is definitely the case that this needs to be addressed and made not possible to happen again. Whilst that's a tall order, it definitely needs to take #1 priority on your list. More than adding Atomic Shop stuff, more than actually making Wastelanders come out sooner. Delay Wastelanders and the Steam release if you need to. Prevent this stuff from happening. Get it done. There's nothing else we can say about this. I, as a fan, want to see this fixed permanently. So thank you very much for watching this video, everyone, and of course, happy Christmas, I suppose. It's going to be such a shame that there are going to be lots of people getting this game for Christmas, and it's not going to be safe for them to play it at this stage, but it is what it is. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. Remember to check out all the cool Patreon people in the description below who help support the channel with their financial donations. You yourself, of course, can also do the same. I can't wait to go ahead and see this fixed, and I can't wait to see you guys in the next video. Until then, I've been the final render, and you've been the audience. Bye-bye, gang. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.